Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be breaking down the key fighting fundamentals that will help you win more fights in Fortnite. Now, to start off this video, we're going to be going through all the important basics, and then we're going to go on to more detailed things later on in the video, so make sure to stick around for those if you want in-game examples. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about when fighting are the key mechanics, your aiming, your building, and your editing. These are obviously all very important. And if you're not at a certain level, you're going to have a tough time competing with other players at a higher level, even if your in-game sense and your fighting knowledge is higher. Now, the point of this video isn't to give an in-depth guide on how to improve those mechanics. I've done that in my last video, so if you want, after this, go take a look at that. And that will just help you improve all the important things like aiming, building, and editing, as well as piece control. And I've just shown you a bunch of great maps to do that in and how I would go about structuring practice time so that you're getting the most out of your warm-up. Now, once your in-game mechanics are at a sufficient level, there's a few really important key concepts in the game of Fortnite that you need to know that's going to help you win fights. Now, the number one most important thing when you're trying to win a fight in Fortnite is to always play to your advantages. Now, there's a few different major types of advantages, and the first one is high ground. If you can have high ground over your opponent, it is going to be so much easier to win the fight. You have a lot more awareness over them and their movements. You can also put a lot more pressure on them, and it's a lot easier to just control the pacing of the fight. You can be either really aggressive if you're healthy and you just want to get a quick kill, or if you're weaker, you can still use the high ground to kind of pace out the fight and really turn the fight in your favor. So what I suggest, along with your practicing your mechanics, is really work on some high ground retakes. They don't have to be too complicated or flashy, but they just have to get the job done, and they have to protect you without using too many mats. So that's the first thing. Learn some high ground retakes, and also just get used to using cones to control the fight. Cones are huge because they have a really far reach. They can place a lot farther than walls, ramps, and really any other build piece. And they also block off ramps, so you can block off the enemy's ramps, and you can cone off their head so that they can't move. So get used to using cones a lot, and that will also help you control your high ground. All right, so that's the first fundamental, is getting high ground and using that to really control the fight. The next thing you really want to work on and really hyper focus in on in this game are right hand peeks. Fortnite is played in third person, which means that right hand peeks are super powerful for out damaging your opponents or even taking trades where you don't get damaged at all. With the release of Edit on Release, a lot of people have been focusing way too much on things like editing and building speed. Those are all great, but they've forgotten about how to use right hand peeks to your advantage. This is probably the most important fighting fundamental you can use in Fortnite. If you can master this, you will be so much better at the game. Now, some really good examples of using right hand peeks when you are on Edit on Release are window edits. Using a peanut butter edit doesn't really work well on Edit on Release because of the timing of when you have to confirm the edit can very often leave you exposed, and it's almost more of a 50-50 peek. So using peanut butters when you use Edit on Release isn't really worth it. So get used to using window edits for a lot of things, not only peeking, but also for piece control and taking good right hand peeks. Right here we have an example of a peanut butter edit on Edit on Release. As you can see, if I go too far this way, I can't confirm the edit. If I try to hug the wall over here, it messes up the edit as well. And if I'm already hugging the wall with a good right hand peek, it's doable, but it's very hard to get, the peek down, and you almost want to make sure that you're already hugging the wall when you start the edit, because if you come back here, you go for the edit, you then have to look all the way over here and strafe into the wall like this, which is also doable, but a lot of people are trying to be fast, and so they just go for the edit, leaving themselves fully exposed, and it's just a trade, whoever has better aim or a better weapon. So if you are going to use this, strafe to the left, make sure you have good double movement settings, look to the right, and then you're going to have to reset to the middle and just go for a jump shot. So if you do want to use a peanut butter, you still can. I don't advise it. But it'll take some practice getting used to on Edit on Release. But edit, turn to the right, strafe left, confirm, jump, and hit your shot, hopefully. What I suggest using is using window edits. Now, there's 3 possible window edits. You've got the left, you've got the middle, and you've got the right. I suggest if possible, to never, ever, ever use the left hand window edit. In rare occasions, you might need to, but I suggest trying to avoid it. Instead, the best one that you want to focus on primarily is the right window edit for obvious reasons. Again, giving yourself that right hand peek. This is great if you want to do things like piece control. Let's say someone's dropping on a ramp out here. You can edit that. You can turbo build a cone. Remember I said before, cones can place very far. You just place the cone and there. I'm right here. I'm pretty protected if you come out here. If they drop in the middle, they're not really able to see me because I'm standing in the middle, and let's say they're in the middle, they can't see me. They have no sight on me. They just got coned off, so their field of vision is cut off. And now they have two choices. They can either try to take the wall or they can try to run to the sides, which you can just simply counter. You come down here, this one's very safe. Going for the left, you might want to be careful because you do have to expose yourself in the window to go for the left wall. And then you can either finish it off with a wide open edit, which can be good if you're timing, say, a pickaxe swing. So let's say they're going for pickaxe, and you time a wide open edit, they miss the wall, or maybe they don't. Or you can just reset it, hold the wall once, then try to go for a peanut butter and go for something like that. So that's how I would use it for piece control. Let's say someone's just on your wall, you know, pump out or something, or they're swinging, whatever it is. Window edits are still great. It's harder to hit headshots with them, but you can quickly catch people off guard without taking a lot of damage. As you can see, you're behind your cone, you're holding your wall. You do a quick right hand edit, you crouch strafe to the right, and you can easily hit 100+ damage pump shot without hardly ever taking any damage. Again, we look at it from this person's perspective. They're right here, they're going for the wall or whatever, and they don't have a good line of sight on you, especially if they're up here. It's very blocked off. Even when they look down, they have even less field of view, so they pretty much can't see you. So this is why the right hand edit is a super strong peek. Now, let's say the opponent is on the left side of the box over here. This would be a great time to use not a left window, but a center window edit if you're hugging your own left. So if you're both on kind of this plane of the boxes, a center window could be great. It's a little bit more 50-50 than this one, but it also will do a lot more damage, and it still gives you a really good right hand peek. Now, the reason this works is when your opponent is in the box, they see the center window edit. For whatever reason, their natural instinct is to just strafe left and go for a 50-50 shot. They like panic, they strafe left, they see a window, they just want to shoot you. It's their first instinct. So they strafe, giving you a very good right hand peek to shoot first from. Now just shoot, obviously reset, hold in case they try to take the wall back. Or you could even do one of these, edit it, close it in their face, hold the wall, and then edit it again and go for a pump or something like that. But again, you don't want to use this one. This is full 50-50, really bad. Use this one, they strafe. Or the other thing they will often do is if they see an edit, any type of edit, they'll just run into your wall, start spraying into your box, you know, if they're on PS4 or something like that. So make sure when you go for that center edit, you're hugging the left side so that you have a good right hand peek, and you're sitting with your pump out, tracking the player through the wall. As you can see, right when you edit, it's pretty much clear. You see perfectly where they are, and you can get a good damage pump if they strafe, or you're ready for them if they try to run through your wall. If they do, you either have to take the full 50-50, or you have to be extremely quick. If you try to edit your cone and get out the side or top, it's honestly probably not going to work. You almost need to hit that heavy pump right at the beginning to win that fight. All right, so those are my tips for using right hand peeks to your advantage, especially when you're on edit on release. Now, the other important advantages you can think about are things like mat advantage, how many builds you have compared to the opponent. So that can be used to get yourself something like high ground, or to just stall out the fight if they are healthier. You could use a shield advantage if you know they're weak. You could do something like jumping in on them, or you could use a loot advantage if you know, okay, you know, they've got a pretty bad gun. I've got, let's say, the Mythic Frenzy Auto. I can just jump in and two-tack them. Or let's say I've got Peter's pump, you know, I can play my distance and I can just go for heavy pump shots without taking much damage and win the fight that way. So these are all things you need to be thinking of when you're fighting. That comes down to fighting IQ, but that also just comes from playtime and looking back on your mistakes. Alrighty guys, that is all for part 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that and got something useful out of it. If you did, leave it down below. In a couple of days, I'm going to be posting part 2, in which we look at how to win fights against aggressive players when you're on the defense, whether that's in a box or just someone that keeps trying to spray in on you, and also how to better read your opponents so that you stop dying to bad players. Alrighty, thank you guys again so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you are looking to improve your mechanics, I'm going to leave the link to that video right up on the screen. It should be popping up right now. You guys can go watch that and learn how to improve your mechanics just like the pros. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.